Billions of these fossilized shells left behind a powdery white-yellow crust. The Amazon is a sprawling emerald ocean of trees that breathes life into our planet. Housing 1 in 10 known species, this lush jungle appears to be a self-sustaining paradise. But the floor of the Amazon is actually built on a paradox. Because this region experiences constant, torrential rainfall, millions of gallons of water wash over the forest floor every single day. While this water sustains life, it also acts as a relentless leash, sweeping away vital nutrients from the dirt. Most importantly, the rain strips the soil of phosphorus, the essential element plants need to build cells and store energy. By all known laws of ecology, after thousands of years of heavy rain, the Amazon soil should be completely barren. This forest should have starved and collapsed long ago. Yet it thrives. How does the world's most washed out ecosystem remain the most fertile? To find the answer, we must travel 3,000 miles away across a vast ocean to the most desolate, bone-dry wasteland on our planet, the Sahara Desert. Deep within the blistering heat of the Sahara Desert, in the African nation of Chad, lies a low-lying, bowl-shaped basin known as the Bodele Depression. Today, it is a desolate dust bowl. But thousands of years ago, it was an ancient lake teeming with microscopic organisms called diatoms. When the lake dried up, billions of these fossilized shells left behind a powdery white-yellow crust. This isn't ordinary sand, because it is made of ancient organic life. This fine dust is packed with a massive concentration of phosphorus. The Bodele Depression happens to be one of the windiest places on Earth. Strong wind currents are funneled directly through this basin like a giant vacuum. When these fierce gales hit the dried lakebed, they violently lift millions of tons of this mineral-rich dust miles into the upper atmosphere. From the ground, it looks like an apocalyptic nightmare as giant walls of yellow dust swallow the horizon. But this dust isn't destined to stay in Africa. Caught by high-altitude winds, this massive plume breaks away from the continent and begins an incredible journey westward. Once the Saharan dust reaches the upper atmosphere, it enters a colossal invisible highway, the trade winds. These powerful, steady air currents carry a massive, swirling bridge of dust across the entire Atlantic Ocean. Satellites show that an average of 182 million tons of dust leave the Sahara every year. It is a literal river of nutrients floating high above the clouds, traveling 3,000 miles of open sea. As this heavy cloud moves, millions of tons of dust slowly rain down into the ocean below, acting as a fertilizer for marine life. Yet, the core of the dust cloud pushes onward, bridging two completely disconnected worlds, using nothing but the power of the wind. After weeks at sea, the front edge of this African dust cloud finally collides with the dense, humid air masses of South America. The dry breath of the Sahara has officially arrived at the gates of the world's largest rainforest. When the dry Saharan air meets the heavy humidity of the Amazon basin, the skies open up. Heavy tropical raindrops trap the floating dust particles, dragging them down from the heavens in a literal rain of life. This muddy, mineral-rich water seeps deep into the starved soil of the forest floor. At a microscopic level, the ancient African phosphorus dissolves. The massive root networks of the Amazon instantly absorb it, pumping it up through giant trunks to the highest branches of the jungle canopy. The numbers are mind-blowing. Out of all the dust that leaves Africa, about 27 million tons land directly in the Amazon every year. Embedded within that dust is roughly 22,000 tons of pure phosphorus. And here is the most beautiful detail. 22,000 tons is the exact same amount of phosphorus that the Amazon loses every year from its heavy rains. The desert is literally replacing what the rain steals. The world's driest desert is the hidden engine keeping the world's wettest forest alive. For centuries, this relationship was completely invisible. It wasn't until NASA used advanced space lasers to map this dust journey in 3D that humanity finally witnessed this global heartbeat. This discovery proved that Earth does not consist of independent parts. Instead, our planet functions as a singular, living, breathing, super ecosystem. A dried lakebed in Africa is the lifeblood of a vibrant rainforest in South America. The dryness of one continent is the exact reason another can breathe. In nature, nothing is isolated, and everything is beautifully interconnected. Welcome to EcoEssence.